Okay, so welcome back to the second session of QGIS. So, in this session, we are going to look at what we call density of events that have happened in the population. So, for instance, you have what we call the cholera cases that has happened over the period, and your analysis as a public health person, you are required to visualize this particular case density of cholera across the geographical locations, showing what we call hot spots and low spots across the uh, geographical area. Okay, so for instance, if our idea as the public health expert or the public health person in Upper East is to ensure that we plot this our data set and ensure that we issue color codings to each of the areas. Then we will use Upper East as the basis to be able to conduct this particular analysis. So first to do that, we need to take off our OpenStreetMap, that is remove it, and allow our map that we are using for the districts, that is the shapefile for the districts in Ghana. So for the properties window, I'll just go back and increase the opacity to maybe 50. Then I can apply so that it will be a bit brighter for us to appreciate. Okay, so to do this, first we need to identify which districts are districts from the Upper East region. Okay, so to do that, first we need to ensure that the names of the regions appear on the map so that we'll know which of the what regions, which of the districts are peculiar to Upper East, so that we can select it and know how to be able to script that particular aspect out as a map of interest. So to do that, we usually go to the shapefile, right click, and go to properties. And you go to properties, just locate labels, and click on labels. Then for per default, you have seen that no label name is given to the map. So we want to give the map a label name. So go click here and go to single labels. Okay, we want to use single labels to depict that. Then under the single labels we have value. Okay, so the value, we click on the arrow, then we say we want to identify it by regions. So once you identify it by regions, it should be able to know which are Upper East and which are not Upper East. So you go to apply and go to OK. So when you do that, you realize that the map is now labeled per the district. So every district has a label name now. Okay. And the label name is, you see the Upper East, Upper East, Upper East, Upper East, Upper East there. So any district that is Upper East, meaning is part of Upper East region. So we want to take this aspect of the map from the map of Ghana, then we can use it as a basis to do the analysis that we want to look at. So first what you do is that you locate these two that says select features by polygon and click on it. When you click on the arrow there, it will give you various options. Choose the first option that says select futures. If you click on the select futures, it will activate the selection word um, toolbox. Okay. Then now what you do is that you hold control on your keyboard. Hold control on your keyboard and select all areas that are denoted as upper east. Denoted as upper east. So we denote them upper east, 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 and upper east. Now we select the pin and drag the map to see whether this portion is is the end of upper east. So going through the map, you will realize that it's actually upper east only we have selected. So once it's upper east we have selected, the next thing to do is to export this particular upper east as a region. So we'll go to this particular window, the layers window, and go to the layer and right click the layer and go to export. Export. So you see that when you go to export, it will say save selected features. Save selected features. Select that one. When you select that one, it will give you the opportunity to type the name of the file that you want to export, and for that we just say upper east map. Okay, so we are generating upper east map from the district map across the country. So once you do that, you go to OK, and you go to OK, you will realize that a new map has been created. A new map layer has been created. So now we have district and upper east map as part of the layers that are there. So when we uncheck the district map, you see that now it is only the upper east map that we have now. So you see, now this is the map of upper east that we have. Okay. So now having said that, now we have the upper east map that we are going to be working with. Now when we want to see the attributes of this map, we have to right click the layer and go to attributes, open attributes table. When you open attributes table, you will realize that now we have all the 15 districts in upper east. 15 districts in upper east. Remember that we created a new field. Okay, so if we want to now create our data field, where the counts of cases are. So usually you have to have the cumulative counts of the what? Of the districts. Okay, the cholera cases of the districts. So if you get that, then you now come and create, like we did in the earlier session, create a new field and input the data into the new field. Okay, so for the purposes of this class, we just go to toggle edit, which we have seen in the first video. We come to this. We come to delete. Okay, delete field. Then we come to this particular one, or we can modify the field if we so wish. So we can go to modify field. So the one that is chosen is this. We want to modify it, and we say okay. We say okay. We say okay. All right, just a minute. All right, so we can delete the field, then we can bring in a new field. Okay, we can bring in a new field. Now Let's check to make sure that all appear, and we'll create a new field, new field. Okay, you'll say cholera, cholera case. Okay, then we'll go to okay. Now here you now enter the data per each of the districts, and what is the data counts for each of the districts. So for instance, Boko, we have 230 in the year, and you press enter, and you come to the next one and say this one you had what, 150. Okay, this one we had 121. This one we had 300. This one we had just below 180. This one we had 71. This one we had 25. This one we had 233. This one we had Kasna Nankana, we had 157.8. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Kasna Nankana West, we had Kasna Nankana West, we had 450. Okay, this one Nabdan, we had 19. Okay, then Pusiga, we had 23. Talents, we had 223. Okay. Bogatanga East, we had 315. Okay. Timpani, we had 116. Okay. So this is the data that we have been able to collect over the period, and we want to use it to do our analysis. Now let's take off the toggle and save. Okay, once we save, we now have malaria cases. Okay, now you close this, and now once we have our map, the next thing we want to do is to label the map with a name. So how do we do that? We go to what, labels as usual, go to single labels, then now we can label it with the name of the district. Okay, when you label the name of the district, each district will appear on the map. Now we might want to change the size, make it smaller, 8, apply. Okay, so that it will fit the windows, or we can even make it 7 because it still looks big. Can still make it 7, apply, or even 6, apply. Okay. Okay, I think this looks better. All right. So having labeled this with the what? With the area names. Now the next thing is to do is to go back to the properties window and go to symbology. Okay. Go to symbology and see the opacity. See everything is good for us. Okay, once everything is good for us here, the color opacity is what, 100%, and everything is okay. Then you now go to the single symbology. Go to single symbology and go to graduated, graduated, graduated. Once the single symbology is okay, then you go to graduated. When you go to graduated, then it gives you an opportunity of selecting the case counts. Okay, and the value you want to select here will be the cholera cases. Okay, then you come to this particular place and see the classes you want. There are 3, because you want low, you want medium, and you want high burden cases. So these are the 3 classifications you want. Now here I'll say low. I'll change it to low, double click, and change it to medium, and this double click to change it to high incidence. Okay, we can also change the values by double clicking on it. When you double click on it, it will open for you to change the values per per whatever segregation you have. So you can always change it there. You can double click and to change you change it here too, and double click and you change it however you want to change it to. Now you can also change the color coding, okay, by clicking on the symbol and coming here to change the color coding. Okay, I can change it to green. I can change it to any color I want to change it. Okay, once I pick color, then I apply it to the map. But for the purposes of this map, I'll just leave it as such. Then we will what? Apply it. So now these are the segregations. We can also choose to do change, like I said, change the color by double clicking now and change the color to whatever you want, and it will be changed to the color that you are looking out for. So you see I've changed it to green. I can change this one to auto yellow. I can change it one to yellow, and okay, okay, and go to okay. So this is yellow and the last one is red. So I can apply. Okay. So when I apply, you realize that the color codings have changed. So we have low, which is the green, medium, which is the what? The yellow, and the high, which is the red aspects of the distance. So now your map is visually what? Executed on the map area. So now you have had the counts of the cases across each of the areas. Okay, we can still go to the properties and do some gymnastics around it. Okay, some gymnastics around it. Okay, where we can add the labels. Okay, rule-based labels, where we can add each of the labels that we want to add. Okay, describe it, filter, what kind of filter is there, and you can choose which of them you are looking out for, the values that you are looking out for as a part of the graduated listing map for you. So this one I can choose to say this, and I can choose to say okay. And I say okay, you see that it will also tell us that um, um, the districts are there. Yeah, you see, the count of the cases are also there. So we can change it to suit whatever we are looking out for. We can change it to suit whatever we are looking out for. But for the purposes of this particular lecture, we will be what? Just keeping it at this point. Now, the next thing that I want to do after displaying our map is to go to what we call the print layout, so that we can save this our map and make it into a particular format or PDF format or for export. Okay, so we can go to the new print layout. Remember I mentioned in the other video that we'll be going to we'll be using the new print layout more often. So you go to new print layout here, or you can choose to go to the projects and navigate down to new print layout. Okay, when you click on that, to ask you that what is the name. So I'll say cholera burden of the cases and go to OK. Now when I go to OK, it opens the new print layout for me. So to bring my map onto this new print layout, I'll go to this particular um, tool on the bar, okay, and select it, which says add map. So I want to add the map that I've developed. So I'll just highlight this area, click and drag around this area, okay, and leave it. When I leave it, it will bring my map onto the print layout. So now my map has been what? Has been fully displayed on the print layout. One of the things I want to do is to put the north north distance sign, as every map always has. So you input it there. You input the scale bar. Okay, you input the scale bar. Then you input the legend. Okay, you input the legend by selecting it. So the toolbar there gives you the opportunity to do most of the what selection of whatever you are looking out for. Okay, now you have done that, and also you have to put the title of the what of the map. All right. So basically, these are the things that we'll need on our map to ensure that the map is okay. So now we have to use the item undo history layout item property and guide to be able to manipulate these particular items that we have brought onto the print layout. Okay, because look at this, it's displaying the 261 districts. We have to take it off. We have to give it a what, a name. And this one is just displaying what we call a default name. We need to change it to suit whatever we are looking out for. So whatever is in our print layout also is in the item window. This is the item window that has all the things that I just selected for the map. Okay, so basically that is just the the items that we need on the map. Now we want to edit them one by one. So the first thing to edit is what, to choose the what, the map title name. Okay, when you choose the map title name, we'll go to the item properties. Once you go to the item properties, it gives you the opportunity that the main properties, which is the name there. So we'll quickly change it to cholera case burden in upper east region. All right, so having done that, just use this arrow to bring it back and check for the font. Check for the font of the what, of the map. Okay, if you check for the font, you can do all the uh, 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 checks here to see which of them, how to go around it and know which of them to use to grade. These are grade 6 export. This size layer to content. Maybe that is where we have the item layout. No, I think general settings. Uh, let's check under the position. This is main. So it is one of the areas within the properties that you change it and get it more visible or more edited. Okay, for the purposes of your analysis. Okay, appearance, I think font. Okay, that's it. So and you go to the font, you can resize this one eh, to the size that we want. Okay, all right. Then you can underline it. Then we can what, save it and go back. So this is what we have per our font. Now I think that is done. Let's go to this the legend. The legend will go to the will go to change to take off this district. Okay, this district should be taken off. So we go to auto updates and check it, then come down and come to district and click on it and remove. You use the what? The minus sign to remove. So when you remove it has gone off. So now we don't have it there again. This name we want to change it, double click and change it to what? Legend of map. Okay, so once we do that, we have changed it and we will leave it as such. That's what we are looking out for. We can also say that we want to bold the top one. Okay, font and texting. Okay, the font and texting. We want to check the font and say that shall we come here? No, I don't think that's it. Let's check and look for subheading. Subheading, I think, is the subheading. Let's check and see. Bold, yes, that is it. Subheading. Subheading, we can underline it as well. Then we increase the font to 13. Okay, I think this looks okay. All right, so basically now is the map that we are going to look at, the main map that we are going to look out for. Then I think we have to go and look for the frame. We want to put a frame around it. Okay, the frame around it. So when you do that, you now get a frame around your map. So now see how beautiful your map is. You have low, medium, high. Okay, low, medium, high. So you can also go there and put less than, I don't know how much we used, but if it's less than, assuming it's 100, then we can say this. Then we can go back and say double click this, also say 100 to 101 to 200. Then we can put the dash there for it, then go back. Then this one high will be greater than 300. Okay, as part of the analysis. So once you do that, now your map is good and set for export. Okay, now you can just go to the top at the toolbar and click on how you want to export it. Export it as what? CVG. Export as what? PDF. So I can say I want to export as PDF cholera bedding in Upper East is the name. So you can choose desktop. You should put it there for me and go to save. Once I go to save, it gives me this window that has the save there. Then you can save. Once you save, you see that successfully exported out towards this. Now we can minimize this, and now look for it on the desktop. So it's here, cholera bedding in Upper East. You double click. When you double click, the map opens. So you see how beautiful the map looks. So you have been able to visually what? Uh, Come out with a map that gives you information about the burden of cholera cases in Upper East. Thank you very much, and we'll be looking for up for the next video. All right, bye bye.